Jesus said it best, what would you have me do? And so many of us come with a plan to people. Jesus never said, you're blind, come here, let me fix your eyes. He didn't say, come here, bloody lady, let me heal you. He always said, what would you have me do? And he did that first. The culture then began to be built around our successes. And we have, in an arrogance sometimes, decided, oh, you need some housing. Let's go over here and tear down what's here and build these people some housing and make their lives better. Saul Alinsky and Robert Kennedy tried that in Chicago. They did all the research and they knew to ask first. So they asked everybody on 63rd Street under the L, what do you want to see done? We have some money, we're coming, we're good Democrats, we're coming to Chicago, we're going to redo it. I'm going to talk to the Woodlawn organization, I'm going to make something happen. And they did. They tore down a neighborhood and built these beautiful high-rise buildings that you could see the lake from them for poor people. What the people had asked for was, would you move the grocery carts off the sidewalks? That's what they wanted. And when they didn't do that because they had all this money and we can build nice housing, it didn't occur to them that they were raising, as in RAZE, a whole community. When kids got out of school, they stopped in these 3 blocks, they all stayed with Miss So-and-so till their parents came home from work. There was a culture and a community that was also a part of that disbursement. So one of the reasons that I believe God has helped me to be successful is learning that lesson the hard way, living in communities that I watched get dispersed, watched the church be sold so we could live in a better place, or we didn't have to worry about parking, or we come up with reasons to do what we've already decided to do without asking the people. And then we put a fence around it to make sure they don't tear it up. One of the best things that happened to me in doing this work was to find out if I needed a fence in the plan and there was something wrong with the plan. People don't spray paint their own homes. And I made lots of mistakes. And I did some of the things that I teach against. And so this is not a reprimand, but a challenge that we all have to look at, making sure that what we consider as development in a geography is what the people who are in that geography also consider and what they want. It doesn't mean they won't come along with what you think later, but you have to address those immediate desires and needs in order to make it a community project. Otherwise, you'll spend time parachuting projects and being frustrated. I don't understand. They know they needed that housing. Why are they tearing it up and knocking out the windows? I don't know why they do blah, blah. And whoever that they is, we create. And so the joy that I had when the community came with me in Los Angeles, and it took 18 months just to write a mission statement. And it took about a year of talking to people. What do you want? How can we be of service? This is my community. I live in that community, so I didn't have to go far, and I knew some of the people. And what we began to see is that there were so many assets in the community. Those of us who had done a lot of schooling learned to do needs assessments. We didn't learn how to do asset assessments. And when you say, what is it that you have? We hired high school students to go, what are the assets of this community? We found that people were assets. There were all kinds of people in our community, libraries, University of Southern California, the 10 freeway, the airport. There were all kinds of assets that we weren't aware of. And as we began to assess it, you could almost see the change in the young people's lives. You know, this is who we are. This is not just where Rodney King was. This is wonderful community. Inglewood, most of you have heard of, is between Santa Monica and Redondo Beach. But I bet none of you ever heard of that. It was a California beach city. It is on the ocean. And it was a place to grow up and get out of. Go where the air is bad, transportation's bad, communication's bad, schools are bad, but get out of here. And then once we do, they circle back and we call it gentrification. But a lot of it is the priming that we allow to happen. I'm excited that we've been able to develop a number of homes, single family homes, and large developments, some commercial. But the beginning was identifying the assets, telling our own story, having our seniors as a part of the asset to tell the stories of how we got here. Who does this belong to? How did this happen that you are here? what do you need to make here where everybody else wants to be? Instead of telling them, get that education and get a good job and get out of here. Get that education and come here and create jobs. Make this the destination point.